In the summer of 2009, San Antonio police stumbled on a scene that was so gruesome investigators could barely speak. Physician Patrick McNamara, writing in Spirit Possession and Exorcism, History, Psychology, and Neurobiology, claims that believing that one or one's child is possessed by Satan is all too common in schizophrenics with religious delusions. According to official reports, a 3.5-week-old boy lay in the bedroom of a single-story house, 3 of his tiny toes chewed off, his face torn away, his head severed, and his brains ripped out. Officers found the boy's mother, Audie Sanchez, sitting on a couch with a self-inflicted wound to her chest and her throat partially slashed, screaming. She told officers the devil made her do it, police said. Psychiatric examiners believed Sanchez suffered from psychosis and was driven to consume her infant, Scotty, as part of a Bacchae-like ritual in which the mother ends and eats her male offspring. According to a 2012 article in the Daily Mail, one of Satan's sons is alive and well in Colombia. At a mere 4 weeks old, the demon child, who has apparently not been named, could already walk by himself and produce fire, or so his aghast mother, Ana Feria Santos, says. She also attests that her son frequently hides around the house, cackles in an adult way for hours on end, and has an intimidating pair of eyes. The article claims that Santos's neighbors, in fear of their lives, have begun pelting the residents with stones, but area lawyers, social workers, and psychologists aren't so sure, and sources say that the mother is being investigated for possible child abuse. In 2016, a 28-year-old Utah mother, Suzanne Connors, made headlines when she gave birth to a screeching entity whom she just as promptly made the sign of the cross over and cast out. Connors, who said that her pregnancy felt like being cut with razors from the inside, claimed that she decided on adoption because she wanted no part in raising the Antichrist. Reports state that doctors apparently opted for a C-section and found Connors' uterus and amniotic sac completely ripped to shreds. One may assume that the infant then scuttled off. It's a lifestyle, but the babe was then taken to a nearby pediatric hospital for evaluation. Superstitions and phobias about demons and witches are legion, but some people don't hesitate to take them to disturbingly literal levels. Such was the case with 21-year-old Rashida Chowdhury, who, in August of 2015, tossed her newborn son out of the 4th-story window of her apartment in Queens because she believed he was possessed by an evil spirit. Chowdhury's apparently non-interventionist family confirmed that she'd indeed been actively harboring a belief that her child was possessed. Moreover, for adults and 2 presumably demon-free other children were in the residence at the time, which made the setup even more suspect. Chowdhury was charged in both the 1st and 2nd degree and told the NYPD that she had no other choice but to hurl her offspring into the symbolic flames below for his own protection. The realization that one is born, or is about to bear, a demon child doesn't always come early. Some evil spawns are late bloomers, or so one Juanita Gomez appeared to believe. In August of 2016, the 49-year-old Oklahoma mother made headlines when she took the life of her 33-year-old daughter with a crucifix. The Huffington Post reports that officers arrived and found the victim lying in the home with a large cross/crucifix upon her chest. Blood was visible, and she had suffered severe trauma around her head and face. Juanita Gomez said she believed her daughter was possessed by the devil and was attempting to rid Satan from her body. Specifically, it seems, Gomez forced a crucifix and religious medallion down her daughter's throat before cleaning her up and posing her body in the shape of a cross. Gomez does not seem to have expressed any particular interest in the crime after the fact. Her main preoccupation appears to be with her bowels. She has accused officials of providing her with inadequate toilet paper, allegedly complaining in court that she had to use that plastic from the food they give her to wipe her bottom. Another progeny of Satan, but can there be more than one divine inheritor at a time, had the honor of gestating in the womb of a certain Isabella Miroslav of Texas. According to 2014 reports, the encounter came while the avowed Satanist was saying her bedtime chants. All of a sudden, the Dark Lord appeared in the room, ordered her to undress, and then bred her. Miroslav's plans to name the child after his father may seem predictable enough, but there are some inconsistencies in her report that are more troubling. She maintains that her son is supposed to become president at age 12 and create a one-world government to later combat the coming of Jesus Christ. Horned, taloned, bat-winged, and snarling, the New Jersey Devil is as American as apple pie. However, his mother, Deborah Leeds, was a Briton. According to historical reports, she and her husband, Japhet, lived in the Pine Barrens of NJ in the early to mid-1700s. They had 12 children, and by the time the 13th was conceived in 1735, Deborah Leeds, who by then was past what most people would consider reasonable childbearing age, was in no mood to give birth to it. Some accounts even have her declaring may it be a devil when she learned of her unwelcome condition. There are multiple versions of what happened on the night of the birth. Some claim that Mother Leeds, as she was called, believed from the outset that her 13th child would be a demon because the number 13 was cursed. Others claim that she invoked the devil during her delivery, thereby dooming the babe. The most popular variation, however, claims that the infant, devil or not, was born deformed and that Mother Leeds cared for it until she passed of old age, whereupon it flew off into the swamps. Whatever the case, in the centuries since the New Jersey Devil's birth, there have been numerous sightings of the creature all over southern New Jersey.